A society to have order and to protect its citizens must have rules. Rules or laws are created and agencies are formed to enforce the rules. In the United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. Our judicial system, our courts, have the task of determining guilt. When guilt is found, the courts mete out the consequences. If we follow the rules of our society, we may never have to face the bar of justice inside a criminal courtroom. Join us now as we see an actual Lake County court in session.
Okay, could everyone, including visitors, please raise your right hand? Okay, do each of you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and this you do under the pains and penalty of perjury?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hands down. Each of you has a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. When you get to the microphone, I need to know if you're under 18. I need to know if you're not a citizen of the United States. If you're not a citizen of the United States, pleading today could affect your immigration status. I need to know if you're on probation or parole, because if you are, pleading today could affect your probation or parole status. If you plead today, you're giving up your right to have a trial and to have an attorney represent you at that trial. If I sentence you today on a criminal case, you need to go down to room 105 and sign up for the payment plan. The least the payment plan can be is $273. If you're charged with a battery, it's closer to $700. That is in addition to whatever we do here in the courtroom. Today we're being tape recorded and videotaped. Today is my second arraignment using the computer, so I may not be too quick today. In custodies, Brett Watts. Mr. Watts, you're charged with defrauding an innkeeper. Mr. Watts, you were unable to bond out?
Oh, no. I was just sentenced on another case last week.
Oh my goodness. All right, this happened.
It was in December.
You were not arrested on this?
No.
You got a summons?
Yes.
And you were given this court date by summons?
Yes.
So you're not in jail on this case, so you're not getting any credit for this case in jail. Are you going to be in jail for a while? Are you
I'm going to DOC.
Oh. So then, would you like me to go ahead and sentence you to jail time concurrent on this case? There'll be restitution. It will be added to your mandatory costs.
Okay.
All right. You don't care how long it is because you're going to be in there for a long time, but we'll say 20 days, Lake County Jail concurrent with DOC. And restitution, reserve right to a hearing, and added to mandatories. All right? Because I don't see a figure, restitution figure. There may be one, but I don't. Whatever it was, it's going to be added to your mandatory costs. All right. Thank you very much. And you are? Elvira Pons. Thank you for jumping right up. And do you have a valid driver's license now?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Did we just have this we did,
Yes.
the 3 in Osceola County, and then I
just
got
paid the
distracted.
tickets.
Okay. And you told me you can go get your valid driver's license within a month, you said?
Within a month, yes.
All right. I need for you to waive speedy trial. We'll continue your case till next month, and you'll come in here with a valid license.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Angie. Ms. Ponce, everything she has is continued for 1 month. She's waiving speedy trial. Juan Preciado.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Could you pronounce it correctly?
Preciado.
Preciado, okay. Thank you for dressing so respectfully for the court.
Thank you.
And you are charged with, you moved and didn't change your address?
Technically, I haven't moved. I came down here to check out a business that my brother's running, so I've been staying at a hotel. I'm actually going back to Jacksonville on tomorrow. So technically, I don't live here. And if you see the address that the officer put down for me in Claremont is a hotel address of where I'm staying.
Yes, it is. Did you get a reckless driving charge also?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah. All right, reckless driving. Well, this was some pretty stupid driving.
According to the police officer, yes, it was. I don't necessarily agree. I pulled out of a parking lot a little faster than I should when I hit a turn, and then I drove past him and
And he said you skidded sideways, almost hitting the curb, tire squealing.
the tires squealed. Yes, ma'am, our tires are a little worn out. It's my friend's car, not mine. I don't agree with skidding sideways, however.
And you weren't wearing your glasses?
I had them on, but I took them off after the police officer told me to get out of the vehicle. So I had them on whenever he pulled me over, when he approached me, but I did take them off as we spoke outside of the car.
All right, he says you were driving recklessly through the parking lot. You were speeding, tires squealing, sliding sideways, almost hitting cars, whatever. So if that's what you're doing, that's pretty reckless.
I would agree with that.
So are you going to say not guilty? That's not how you were driving?
Honestly, I want to see what you would offer.
Well, reckless is 6 points, and it's certainly not a good thing to have on your record.
Yes, unfortunately, I have 11 points already, and if I were to lose my license,
Well, you would lose your license if you
my
plead
job
to...
is based on me driving to appointments, so I would have no way to work.
So how is it you're using someone else's car?
I don't have a
This
car right now. I actually just returned from Italy about 2 months ago.
So you're using someone else's car to drive to your appointments?
I was borrowing a coworker of mine's car. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you have that many points, you'd be losing your license. So you're going to say not guilty and talk to an attorney?
If that's what you suggest, yes, ma'am.
If you want to keep your license,
I would like to keep.
are you able to afford a private attorney, or do you need a
No,
public? How much do you make a week?
Maybe about 200.
What kind of work are you doing that
I
you're...
work for Vector Marketing.
All right, well, I don't know how you can afford your hotel and the gas to just make that a
Well,
week.
the hotel is my brother's actually staying there right now. I only came down here temporarily.
All right,
Things out.
he's entering a not guilty and will appoint a public defender. All right, have a seat and we'll get you your paperwork. Ola Reese, to the microphone, please. All right, Miss Reese, you are charged with possession of marijuana and driving while license suspended. Do you have your valid driver's license now?
No, ma'am, but I got my driver's license suspended over my insurance, and I got my insurance all straightened out, and this coming Tuesday when I get paid, I plan on going to get my driver's license reinstated.
All right, you're suspended for not having insurance and for having a charge before of driving with no insurance.
I didn't get, I've never got pulled over for driving on a suspended license. But
Okay, stop talking. You didn't, maybe I misstated it. You had a driving with no insurance last year. You got sent, you paid it, I think, November 21st.
Yes, ma'am.
In Florida, if you pay the ticket for driving with no insurance, Tallahassee suspends you.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's what happened, and you probably weren't aware that would happen. In order to keep that from happening, you had to bring the proof of insurance to the traffic window, which you didn't do because you didn't get insurance. So they suspended you for having that charge, and you're suspended for still not having insurance. But the still not having insurance part is new.
Yes, ma'am. When they suspended my license last time for insurance, I did reinstate
Okay.
my insurance.
They suspended you again because you got the charge of driving with no insurance and you paid the ticket and you didn't bring proof then. You may have had it then, but you didn't bring them the proof. And you're also suspended as of June 26th for not having insurance since June 26th.
Yes, ma'am.
But you've never had a prior.
No, ma'am.
But you do now have the marijuana charge. If you enter a no contest plea, I would put you on 6 months probation. For the marijuana charge, it's a drug evaluation, any treatment recommend. Have you ever had a marijuana charge before?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then it's 6 months probation, the 4-hour stop class, and 2 clean screens 30 days apart. And for the driving while license suspended, it's proof of a valid driver's license.
Yes, ma'am. I have already got my insurance straightened
And you can
out.
get off of probation as soon as you do that.
Okay, I'll do that this coming Tuesday.
You're going to do it this coming Tuesday?
My license, yes, ma'am. Went yesterday
but-
to do it, but didn't happen.
She has no priors, and I'd be willing to change that Dwillis to a civil. So can we go ahead and break it up now? Okay, so I'm just going to give her a civil for it now. So we're gonna, okay, that's how we're gonna do it. I'm just putting you on probation for the marijuana. For the driving while license suspended, we're going to change it to a civil, and you'll have 6 months to pay $210, and I'll withhold.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to split it up that way.
Thank you.
All right, you're going to report to probation outside the double doors when you're finished, and you're going to have to talk to some provider about the stop class. The back of the courtroom, we have one provider today. Could you stand up and introduce yourself, please? And at the microphone, who are you?
My name is Damaris Rodriguez.
Damaris Rodriguez. Ms. Rodriguez, you're charged with a marijuana. Do I have a history on Ms. Rodriguez? Ms. Rodriguez, it looks to me like you've never been in trouble before. The prosecutor's office has a program called pretrial intervention. It's a contract with the prosecutor. If you finish everything on that contract, they drop the charge.
Okay.
Is that something that interests you?
No, because I live in New York. I reside in New York. I'm only here for vacation.
How long are you going to be here?
Oh, maybe till the end of the week.
Well, this charge isn't going away, and if I sentence you on it, it would be probation. If you want to go out and talk to the probation officer and see if you can report by phone from up north, we can do that. Go talk to them about
Probation, this is Chris.
Hi, this is Judge Miller. I'm sending Damaris Rodriguez out. She has no priors. It's a marijuana, so we could do PTI, except she wants to leave the state and go back home. So could you talk to her about the possibilities?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. I'll need to see you again, but go out this double door, and there's a little room on the left, and as soon as Miss Christine is available, she'll talk to you.
Okay, thank you.
And then come back and see me. Leslie Rubero?
Rubero, ma'am.
Rubero, sorry. You're charged with driving while license suspended. Do you have a valid driver's license now?
Yes, ma'am, I have my license, my DOT card also. And it was just a lack of a money order not getting to Hillsborough County. And the day of the citation given to me, the very next morning, I went to straighten it out and everything, and it's all said.
All right, you have a driving while license suspended from '05, one from '09, and
09?
then you had two in '09. Well, '06, you didn't take care of it till '09. So this one might habitualize you. This time you were suspended for not paying a ticket out of Hillsborough County. All right, the one in Hillsborough County, one was treated as a civil, so it won't count. So This may just be count as your second. All right, I don't think you'll get habitualized because they were treated as a civil. So if you enter a no contest plea today,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
would put you on 6 months probation. You can get off of probation. You have a valid license right now?
Yes, I do.
It'd be a $200 fine, 6 months to pay. Thank you. Okay, you just got it. You have a CDL?
Yes, ma'am.
Oops. Well, so you've had, this is your 4th driving while license suspended, so you know how it affects your CDL. If you plead today, I would find you guilty of a driving while license suspended criminal charge, and I'd put you on probation. You would stay on probation until you pay a $200 fine.
I mean, the last time I was cited for not driving my license was in 2007
Well,
of May of 2007.
okay, that's fine.
Okay, I did everything the court
That's
required.
fine. This time you were suspended for not paying the Hillsborough ticket on time.
I went to court for that. They dropped the fine down to $100. I mailed out the money order. I explained that to the officer. That's why the very next day I went out and just took care of it. And
They sent you a letter telling you you're suspended.
I've never received a letter. That's just it, ma'am. If I would have,
Okay, you didn't receive your letter, and you mailed a letter which they never got. And this is your 4th time getting caught driving with a suspended license. So I don't have too much sympathy. So if you want to say not guilty and talk to an attorney,
no contest, ma'am.
it could affect your CDL, so that's your call.
What could affect my CDL?
A driving while license suspended criminal charge.
So if I plead no contest, what's that going to do for me?
Nothing.
So what are you offering me?
You're charged with a driving while license suspended. It's your 4th time having this charge, so I don't understand why you're confused. Your license was suspended for not paying that ticket on time. That's why it was suspended. After you got stopped, you went and paid the ticket and got your license back. But at the time you were stopped, your license was suspended.
Okay.
If you plead today, I'm going to find you guilty of driving while license suspended, and it could affect your CDL.
How could it affect my CDL? I mean, this is what I need to be explained to. What's it going to do to my CDL?
You don't know how criminal charges or driving charges affect your CDL, then maybe you shouldn't have a CDL. You read a whole book, you had to pass a test to get your
That's over 20 years
CDL.
ago when I took the CDL test.
Right, you have a choice to make today. You can plead and I'll sentence you, or you can say not guilty. You can check on how it will affect your CDL.
I want to keep my CDL, so could you advise me on what should
We're
I
going to
do?
enter a not guilty plea today. We'll give you a new court date. You get the CDL manual and see how criminal driving while license suspended would affect it.
Okay.
Do you know off the top of your head, Miss Angie? Is it, but not within 5 years? Okay, we don't know how it will affect your CDL. What is it you want to do? Do you want to say not guilty for now until you check on your CDL? Or are you going to plead guilty and be sentenced?
If I plead guilty, what's it gonna cost me, or what?
Okay, go sit down. I've explained it 3 times already. I'll do you last. Go sit down. All right, next we have, no, not there. Back out there. Yes. It was Demarius, Miss Rodriguez, yes.
PTI.
So PTI, you're going to be able, okay. Then in order to do PTI, we have to have a prosecutor here, and that's not until like a month from now, and you're not going to be here. Hi, Miss Rodriguez wants to go back up north, And in order to do PTI, we have to put it off till plea negotiation when there's a prosecutor here. And she doesn't plan to stay that long. Are you swamped right now, or do you have time to call a prosecutor and see if they can bring a, thank you, bye-bye. All right, we're going to try to get you the contract today. All right, have a seat, and we'll see what we can do. Stephen Schneider, come on up to the microphone, please. Attaching a tag not assigned. Does the vehicle have a proper tag now?
No, ma'am.
Whose vehicle is it or was it?
I was purchasing it. I haven't finished paying it, so I do not have the title or bill of sale for it.
Has it been returned to the owner?
No, ma'am.
All right, you can't drive a vehicle around unless it's properly registered, titled, insured, all of that stuff.
I understand. I haven't driven it since I was pulled over. It's been.
So they're saying you put a tag on it that didn't belong on it,
Yes, ma'am.
and you still haven't fixed it.
I just can't afford it right now at all.
Okay, Mr. Sierra, this is going to cost you more than it would cost you to fix the tag. This is going to be at least $500 if this stays criminal. If you come in with a valid tag, I can change it to a civil.
I understand that. I just can't come up with a lump sum like that. I could do payments, but I just right now, I mean, it'll get better, but
All right, I'll give you 2 months, but no further delays, and if you don't come in here with a valid tag, then it stays criminal, and it's going to be more than $500.
yes, ma'am.
If you come in with a valid tag, we can change it to a civil, and it's something like $163 or something like that.
That's a lot better.
Yeah, but 2 months and that's it, no further delays.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, he's waiving speedy trial, and we'll continue it for 2 months for him to get a valid tag. All right, have a seat.
Thank you.
What's your name? Come on up, because I know you're next.
Wilfred Sierra Sosa.
You're also charged with attaching a tag not assigned.
Yes. I had recently bought the car, so I was
From a
in-
private person or a dealer?
No, private person.
All right, I get to say my little speech. Anytime you buy, sell, trade, whatever, a used vehicle from a private person, you need to have that other person meet you at the tag office to do the exchange. You can't drive it 1 inch until it's properly registered, tagged, and insured in your name. And if you're selling it to someone else, you don't want them driving around with your name on it, so it's equally important to get it done right, and the tag office doesn't charge anything extra to make sure it's done right. Does this have a proper tag on it now?
No, I still haven't gotten the money. I was in the process.
Would you like to give him the speech?
No, ma'am.
Yes, tell him what's going to happen, the choices.
If you get it paid, if you get your tag fixed now and you come back, it can be dropped to a civil case, and that'll be a lot cheaper than keeping it a criminal.
Okay. All right, but
Are you going to fix it?
yes.
I'll give you the same court date I gave him in 2 months, but no further delays.
Yeah, but I lost the title of the car.
Well, there are companies that can help you replace the title.
I have been looking. I've been trying. So
So you want me just to go ahead and sentence you today? Because you haven't fixed it, it's a $250 fine. Well, I'll make it a $200 fine. And then $300 for the mandatory costs, so it's about $500. And you have nothing to show for it. When he's finished, it's going to cost him like $166, but he'll have a valid tag.
$500, and how long would I have to pay that?
I'd have to put you on probation, and probation costs an extra $55 a month. So let's say 6 months from now, you still haven't paid. I forgot to add that to your amount of money you'd have to pay. So that would be another $200-300. So your best bet is to find a company that can fix your title and come in here with a valid tag. or sell the vehicle. Well, you can't sell the vehicle, you don't have a title. How much did you pay for the vehicle?
I paid $1,000.
And you bought it from a private person,
Yes.
and you've lost the title.
I bought it from a guy that owns an auto shop, and
So why don't you go back to him?
I tried getting in contact with him, but his phone is cut off, and I can't do anything.
Why don't you go there then?
It was at his house in Orlando, and right now I don't have a car, so I don't have transportation.
Whatever, I've heard every excuse you're dishing out. I'm not buying half of it. So I either sentence you today, or I'll continue it for 2 months for you to get a valid tag.
Oh,
May as well sentence you today, is what you're saying. All right, I find you guilty of attaching a tag not assigned. It's 6 months probation. You can get off of probation as soon as you pay $200. And you have to go to room 105 and sign up for the payment plan.
okay, no problem.
Well, it's going to be a problem if you didn't have money to fix it in the first place. I don't know how you're going to have money to do this. And if you don't pay it, you go to jail. Okay, have a seat. We'll get you your paperwork in just a moment. I don't get that one either. I want this person. What's your name? Mr. Rubero. You heard the other gentleman who has a CDL give you his opinion. None of us are positive on the results, but it could affect your CDL. So, do you want to say not guilty and talk to an attorney, or do you want me to sentence you on the driving while license suspended, knowing it could affect your CDL?
Just sentence me, ma'am. I'll worry about it then.
Okay.
I don't think, oh, never mind. Just,
Okay, you were suspended for paying that Hillsborough County ticket late. You had a prior driving while license suspended civil, and I think I said you had 2 prior civil. No, that one's a criminal one. Okay, so you had 1 prior criminal, 1 prior civil. If you enter and you fixed it now. So it's
everything's fixed, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
$200, 6 months probation. You can get off of probation as soon as you pay $200. If you can pay the $200 up front, you don't even have to go on probation. You have to go to room 105 and sign up for the payment plan.
Okay.
And we have to print you right now.
Why would, okay.
Because for driving while license suspended, we print people because they're enhanceable. Okay, so he's pleading. Could you print him, please? Mr. Tenney, what's going on?
We took care of the matter you called me down for. I had an unrelated matter to discuss, but it can wait until...
Oh, I'm almost finished. Okay, so what was her, Rodriguez?
Yes.
Okay, so Ms. Rodriguez is PTI.
Correct.
Thank you for doing that. Ordinarily, I would put it on the PNC docket, but she wanted to go back home.
Understood, and I included a provision in the contract saying it could be transferred out of county or out of state.
Okay, thank you so much. Where is she?
She is right in there right now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Angie.
Probation, this is Chris.
Hi, this is Judge Miller. Ms. Rodriguez has to come back in because she also has an open container.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Ms. Rodriguez? All right, you had an open container we didn't talk about. You're on pretrial intervention for the other one. The open container is a $116 ticket. Are you going to plead to it?
Yes.
Okay, no contest. I find you guilty. It's $116, and you have until January 24th, 2014. All right, as soon as we give
Thank
you
you,
this
Judge.
you're welcome. As soon as we give you the piece of paper, you're free to go.